Hello. Okay. Oh my gosh, I felt like I sang that. Welcome back to another episode of Braving the Mountain podcast. I am here today with Charissa Higgins, who I just love you. You're an absolute doll. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. She is really into bold brands and big impact. And I think that's like where I want to leave it. I know that you are a brand alignment and strategy consultant with McKenna Dodge, but I loved we were talking a little bit before this, and you were kind of talking about how you teach people basically to find themselves again and show up boldly. And I feel like that is really a piece of us that we kind of tuck in. And instead of showing up boldly, we show up timidly. And so I just want to hear what your journey was, how you got here, and how ultimately you open the floodgates to allowing yourself to show up boldly because you show up boldly and I freaking love it. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I think that's something that a lot of women also struggle with because I mean, you and I have talked about our upbringing a little bit. We did an Instagram live back in December, and we kind of talked about that. When you're taught to play small, you're taught to just be quiet, like almost be seen and not heard, and you start to people please and you start to try to just like be the good girl so that everybody else stays happy and everything stays calm, and it really shows up in adult life. And I think a lot of people, like when you start to talk about your upbringing or whatever, I've had this experience that people, family members, are like, stop pointing the finger, and I'm like, I'm not pointing the finger, I'm sharing an experience because our experiences in the past shape where we are at today. And something that you said in there that was so powerful is you were like, I found my purpose. And I think a lot of times as moms, I don't know if this was your case, but growing up, you're kind of taught your purpose is to be a mom. And it's like, no, you get to have a purpose outside of being a mom. And what a gift you give to your kids when you allow yourself to have an identity outside of that, of just being a mom, right? Like, and I don't want to say just being a mom in the way of like, oh, I'm just a mom, because that's a lot of hard work. But let's talk about that for a second, because I think we're taught that as women and it needs to end, and we get to have both. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. Is it so bad? I don't even care about my kids' grades. I'm like, okay, anything below a C, you're just being lazy. But like a C or above, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't love the school system. I'm like, I just don't care. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yep. I don't either. I don't either, other than I loved the social aspect, and that's why my kids choose to go. Yeah, because I've asked them, I'm like, "I can homeschool ya, it looks very different than what public school is," and they want to go to school. So for those of haters out there who are like, "Well, then there's just homeschool your kids," it's like my kids choose to go to school, but then I can choose where my expectation is set, and I was an A student, but I do not have all A students, and I don't care. I don't care. I want yes, yes, than an antiquated school system. Yes, for sure. So I want to go back to this showing up with boldness because I feel like this is something I just want you to kind of share your journey on how you started to really step into you because I feel like a lot of times we grow up with those shoulds, right? We start shoulding all over ourselves like, "Oh, I shouldn't be this way. Like, what's this person going to think?" I really think that like fear of judgment is what keeps us playing so small for so long. So what was it for you? Like, what did that journey look like in the really stepping in and just finally releasing that and showing up with boldness? Because I feel like when we do this, we give our kids permission. And I think that this is a huge piece of the motherhood journey is allowing ourselves first. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Oh, no. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 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 Hell yeah to the minivan. I but I don't think it's stupid. I have a shaker bottle story, so I do not think the minivan is stupid. I think we all have, as silly as it seems, it's really big. It's really big in your life. And so this minivan represents, which the Pacificas actually are a cool mom vibe. So, yeah, because 'cause I'm the same way about minivans, right? Like, the sports mom, like, minivan pulling in and all our kids are getting out. Um, but but I think that we all have at least one of these defining moments, and isn't it funny how what is it about our 30s? Like, what is it about our 30s that starts to really unlock a lot of these doors? Because I feel like my hope for my kids is that their doors to just being themselves open way before they hit their 30s. Like, way before. That's a lot of life to live playing small and not being you. A lot of life. Yeah. 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 And I think, yeah, because I don't I'm the same as you. I'm like, but, is like, you do reflect back sometimes and you're like, "Gosh, what if I would've started setting boundaries sooner? What if I would've done this sooner? Like, where would I be now?" But what's funny is it's like, now we as moms get to be a better example, so we're just like a few levels up, right? From like whatever our parents were, we chose because some people choose to stay the same and some people recreate the exact same patterns. But like, I feel like for you and I, like, because we talked about this on the live, but like we chose to show up differently as moms and not believe everything that we were taught growing up. I had this something I said a little while ago, but it was like, stop living as if your past is still true. It's like you can adjust at any time. And I think that a lot of women, because maybe in the beginning, tell me if you felt this way, but you almost feel stuck in like these chains of like, yeah. It's like, "Oh, can't do that." It's because as a child, that was our survival. As a child, that was how we survived, and we still have these child parts within us that we have to be like, "No, we're safe now. We're safe." And as I look back on my patterns as a child, had I stepped out of line or made a different choice than what I mean, I was raised mostly by my mom. I had to step out for a few years, but if I would have stepped out of line as to what my mom wanted me to stay in, my whole world would come crashing down because my whole world was my little family. But, like, now as an adult, we've created our own worlds, and I think this little inner child forgets that we have a whole different world that we've created, and our whole world doesn't come crashing down when we step outside those lines anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. 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 Okay, so aside from the minivan and, like, stepping into you, what is, like, one of the biggest okay, the minivan. Let's go back to the minivan. Yes. Was it like you just threw everything out the window after the minivan and was like, "Screw it, I am doing me"? What did that look like after that? You felt the freedom, and then how did it start? Like, because there's a ripple effect. I feel like there was a ripple effect of this van. So I wanna know what this ripple effect looked like for you. Mm, yes. Mm. Yep. Yep. Mhm. Yep. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think that too, a lot of people, because I think sometimes, and you explained it so beautifully, is it's not easy. It wasn't, I bought a minivan and threw caution to the wind and was like, the hell with the rest of you, and lived your life just happily ever after. It doesn't look like that. But what a lot of people don't see is there's so much shit that happens behind the scenes. You know, it's like this overnight success, right? It's like, whoa, where'd this Carissa come from? But it's like, this Carissa came from buying a minivan and breaking those chains and going through some shit for the next year. Like, it wasn't just one day you woke up, you bought a minivan and decided this minivan's gonna forever be a thing, by the way. But, but like, yeah, and I think that oh wait, did you want to say something in there? Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, cuz now you're not like the good girl, right? The quote unquote like good girl anymore. And so it's a lot of questioning yourself. Like I remembered in my head, like when I would make certain decisions, like, I mean, I was born and raised LDS, we stepped away, but I remember having to walk around and tell myself in my head constantly, I am still a good person. I am still a good person. I am still a good person. And I think it's the same situation here. Like when we start to step away from this, I mean, because yeah, it's a toxic cycle to just sweep every problem under the rug and never look at it. Yeah. And then put a smile on our face like everything's fine. But deep down, all we're doing is just suppressing the anger and the shit. And eventually it has to like boil over. But when we step away from that, it's like, okay, I'm still a good person. I'm still a good person. I'm still a good person. And there's a lot of that. Am I doing something wrong? There's guilt, there's fear, there's whatever. And the one thing that I want to say that's really cool about your journey is the fact that your mom was open and able to receive you putting it all out there, because that's hard, right? Like it's hard. We've looked at our shit, but now to be like, this is where this comes from, can we talk about it? This is where, maybe even, I don't know if this was said like in your relationship, like this is where you have hurt me, this is where you have held me back. And being able to pour that out there and know that your mom was receptive to hearing that, I think is huge, because not everybody's parents are. My mom has not been open to receiving that so far. And so we haven't been able to do much repair. I've tried to open up the conversation like several times over the past several years. And I don't know if we'll ever get there. So I just think that that is incredible for you that your mom was like open and willing to receive that and to see where you have gotten because it might not be everybody's journey, but we can hope. But I think that that's really cool that she was willing to go through that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm. Yep. Yeah. 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 And I think when we quit letting fear drive the car, that's when you truly step in. And it's like, and you get an answer either way. So for you, your mom was receptive. For me, my mom has not been receptive. And so it's really interesting to look at that because now for me, I'm like, okay, she's not capable. But if I wouldn't have put it out there, if I wouldn't have tried, I never would have known. So for anybody listening, it can go one of two ways, right? We'll call it Carissa's way or Amanda's way, like for this episode. But not saying that my way will never change. I don't know. There's still time, maybe, right? We never know when we're going to be like wiped from the earth. But it's like at least I know she's not capable right now. And your mom is. And I think that that is just it's so cool that we have such contrast here because I think that that's where a lot of people get really scared to just try, to just see, to just ask. And but I think it also takes this level of we have to let go of that fear of rejection. And so it takes a lot of healing. Like you said, you had gone on a healing journey, right? Now at 41 years old, like, I mean, when was the minivan purchased? How old were we when we bought this minivan? Okay. Yeah. So let's look at 36-year-old Carissa, even 35-year-old Carissa. Like, you had done so much work to heal up until that point. And so then that fear of rejection, I feel like maybe tell me if it's for you, but like it gets a little less scary because it's like, okay, I don't care because I'm still going to do me, but will you come with me or not? I don't care either way. Like, I'm going to be okay either way. And so, yeah. And now we get to teach our kids. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 Something I do is I'll try something big, what your brain perceives to be big and scary and like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die if I do this." And then I'll wake up the next morning and I'm like, "Okay, I didn't die." Yeah. Like, I'm okay. I'm still here. I'm still me. I didn't die. Okay, maybe we can try that again. Or maybe I'm not gonna try that again because I actually didn't like that, but I am still alive. So it's like, yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. Yeah. So I have one final question for you. Something that I ask all of my guests is for any mom out there who is wanting to brave her metaphorical mountain, because that's braving the mountain, what would be like one piece of advice that you would leave her with today? Mm, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good. So good. And buy a minivan. Yeah. And the doors open automatically. Yep. Yes. Oh, I love it. Okay, so tell us, where can we find you? And we will obviously put all of this in the show notes as well too, but yep. Yes. Yep. So good. Oh, so good. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we will talk to you next time.